So how have integration been affected by the change of authentication? So I've been involved in some cloud projects recently, and this really got me thinking, well, what's actually being changed there? And then I started reflecting a little about what was actually going on when I started with XI 3.0 in 2004 or 5. When I come from a security background, so I've been doing penetration tests and evaluating what our clients have been doing, and if everything is as they're supposed to be. Then I got a job doing PI or XI at that point in time, and the first kind of integration that we were doing was with FTP servers, plain FTP, no secure, because there wasn't supported at that point in time, or SSL or anything like that. So no, it was just plain FTP, and I guess HTTP was also just plain HTTP. No one really wanted these security certificate and all that administration inside of organization. So they just wanted the small part about just saying, hey, this is the simple approach for doing these things. Then I can see that the more I've been involved in other projects, you see that FTP servers is then being replaced by SFTP servers in some format. SSL is a standard on all connections, and you just see that there's a lot higher security on all systems, because that is what is required for making good IT. Then recently I just been involved in an e-commerce project where we from SAP need to communicate with an e-commerce platform, and we're doing it in 2 different ways, having 4 different authentication methods. So we're using API management to expose some service on the backend, and here from the API management to the SAP system we're using most likely, maybe I'll change, username and password to log on to the FTP system or SAP system and get some data there. Then from the cloud, we are currently looking at using the OAuth 2.0 protocol to API management, because I think that is where we can get fairly easy a good authentication and some visibility in who is actually using our application. Then on the outgoing side, we are using different approaches. So from the SAP system to the cloud platform integration, we would most likely use certificates, just to ensure that, we know who is calling, we don't have a problem with users or access, and then because they are using the standard issues or whatever they are, we would need to create different users for each application, and that also means that the developers working on the development environment don't need to know access to sending messages on your productive system. So I really like that separation, that you can create users with different access, and even though you know the password or the certificate of the user, you would only be able to call it on the development side. Then from the CPI or to the e-commerce platform, it seems like we will be using WebToken, Java WebToken, which seems like the newest innovation in this perspective, and it seems like it is fairly robust. So instead of using a password or any kind of secret, it's using a certificate. So you got a little more, I guess, randomness or uncertainty in the key, and then this token that you would send and get access on is only valid for a certain period of time, so you can easily be able to see, okay, so we got this information, is it valid or not? Sorry. And I've also seen other projects where we've been using this kind of two-legged OAuth web token strategy, because it just gives, I guess, a higher level of security and giving enable us to actually have the system open on the internet, because we know that there will only be limited users that would actually access these things. But it is really interesting to see the approach from on-premise, where you got some kind of a somewhat secure environment, to the cloud, where it's like, well, we don't really know, we got all options, just pick us one. So like to hear in your hear in the comments, what have you seen of new technologies or authentication that is a lot different than what we used to see for giving access, transferring message securely, and guarantee that messages was delivered to the right things. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button, give me a comment, I really appreciate it. Thanks.